The first basic concept that I like to discuss with my students is relaxed air. Normally, I would have them visualize their breathing. Performing this task with and without the horn, I'm going to demonstrate it just with the horn, so that they're visualizing the air going all the way down to the bottom of their diaphragm and coming up in a relaxed state, just like our regular inhalation and exhalation. I feel that this exercise is important because it allows for them to feel what a relaxed breath feels like. This is something that they'll use in both classical and jazz to ensure that they don't have a forced sound or their sound breaks as they play, but helping them to maintain a centered and focused sound. The next thing I'm going to discuss is as we kind of get into our warm-up as we're playing a little bit, once we've done our breathing for the day. I'm going to use the stamp exercises in combination with the tableau to demonstrate one of my basic warm-ups that I would use with my students. It will incorporate just mouthpiece buzzing, which I'll use the burp, one thing that I highly encourage, and we can discuss more later if you would like. And here it goes. With this exercise, I incorporate pitch bending both on the mouthpiece buzzing and while playing to help find the center of each pitch and where the horn sounds the best. I do a lot of ear training as we do our buzzing to make sure that we can hear where those intervals are and we can hear where the pitch center is as well, just on the mouthpiece. The next exercise that I'm going to demonstrate is an adaptation that I teach on a Clark Studies. It's just a regular scale study, normally performed only in major. I encourage my students to practice this exercise in major, minor, and whole tone. Normally it would be played twice through on each one. This time when I demonstrate it, I'll play each section once. So I'll play major once, I'll play it in minor once, and then whole tone once. Normally my students once again would play it twice, and in one breath is where the goal is, trying to make each section flow as smooth as the others. The next section is flexibility. It's very important to work on flexibility on a regular basis as it builds muscle that's going to be used in playing, helping with range and endurance, as well as helps with fluidity in getting through passages as we work on solo literature or jazz pieces or anything that's going to come up. This excerpt is going to come from John Daniel's book, Special Studies for Trumpet. I feel it's a very practical approach and is one of my favorite to use with my students. The next section that I'm going to talk about is double tonguing. With double tonguing, when I teach my students tuku tuku and kutu kutu. I have them practice both as to make them as seamless as possible in transition. If they have a passage that best starts with a K articulation, they're prepared for it and they've done it a few times in their practice routine. It also helps with the difference between the T and K articulations so that you can't tell the difference as an audience member on what they're doing. We want to make sure that this transition is as smooth as possible as well when we're coming from our single tonguing. I'm going to give you an example. I'll start with a TK, TK, and then I'll go back to the KT, KT and what I would have them do or examples. We would use this with scale exercises as well as some other passages. So on and so forth. We may also use it in a diatonic pattern as well. The samples that you saw earlier are just examples of what would be assigned to students in their routine. Each routine is developed individually to each student on their needs and also on their goals that they have and which they would like to obtain. If you look on other sections of the website, you'll see me instructing jazz improvisation as well as sectional and ensemble work. There's also a section of my syllabus where you'll find curriculum and recommended solo literature. I hope that you found this video helpful, and I wish you the best.